Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Friday class. I am so excited to have you here. My name is Mapuana Murgel. I live in California, and I am your host for today. I am excited to introduce a guest speaker. Usually I teach these classes, but today I'm actually on vacation in Pismo Beach, California. And anywhere I am in the world, I still commit to hosting these Friday classes because it's only 30 minutes and there's so much that we learn every single Friday, especially when we have a guest speaker, because we get a different perspective on things, right? So, if you are the type of person that wants to create a healthy lifestyle with doTERRA essential oils and supplements, then you are in the right place. Because every Friday, I open up our Zoom and we have a discussion, a chat, or I teach about a subject and how to incorporate doTERRA into your lifestyle. Because no matter where you are, you're always carrying oils and supplements with you, right? To create a healthy lifestyle. And that doesn't matter if you're caring for someone or just caring for yourself. So today's topic, I am happy to introduce, is self-care for the caregiver. And so Sherry has made some beautiful slides, and we just want to go ahead and say thank you so much for showing up. I'm going to pin you now, and you can take it away, girlfriend.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me. I really do appreciate this opportunity, Mapuana. And thank you all for coming. I appreciate y'all's support. This is a passionate subject for me because I am a caregiver. I have been a caregiver on and off for 20 years, but full time for almost 10. And I am also, for those of you who don't know me, I have been doing doTERRA for 3 years now. And I will never, ever, ever not have doTERRA in my life. I am a certified aromatherapist, and I'm also a certified emotions coach. So I am not a doctor. I'm only telling y'all what has worked for me as a caregiver and explaining to y'all what I know through my certification as an emotions coach. So this is just a little glimpse into the emotions and the physical ailments that we may feel as a caregiver and what to do about them. So it will help support you and maybe empower you as a caregiver to help yourself so that you're better able to help the one you love. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's go ahead and do this.
So I have a question right off the bat, Sherry, and I wanted to invite everyone to use that chat feature and the reactions button on the bottom of your page. Drop questions in the chat. We'll be able to answer them. But who have you been taking care of for the last 20 years?
So it has been multiple people. It started with my father passed away whenever I was in my 30s, and I helped my mom with him. And then my mom had a very good friend. She was like her sister. And at end of life, she ended up living with me in my living room, and I gave her a caregiver. She had brain cancer at the time. Then I actually helped my mom with my stepdad 2 years ago. But for the last 9.5 years, I have been married. And when I married my husband, his mom lived with him, and she is disabled. She has her hands are not real usable. She has drop feet in both feet. She has Charcot-Marie-Tooth, which is a slower version of MS, among other issues that cause her to not be able to, prepare meals and do things in a normal way that people do. So she's very dependent. She hasn't had a driver's license or anything for many, many years. And she is 81. So
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for answering that question before you jumped into it. I know you're going to share a little tidbits here and there of your experiences, but I just had that question for the beginning. Thank you, sweetheart.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking. So I this is a wave, and that's why I went with ride the wave of caregiving, because for me, caregiving is the ups and downs. Sometimes you're on the board and sometimes you're paddling out through the surf to get to the hard part so you can have the easy parts again. So that's why I chose this. And my husband is a surfer and I live at the beach. So it was perfect for me. That's why that's this theme. So the first thing I want to talk about is self-care practices. These are the things that I will be going over with. These are just a few. There is a plethora of stuff, and I invite you all to YouTube, Google, ask, reach out to someone you know, that if you are a caregiver, have been a caregiver, or will be a caregiver, or know somebody that will, you're going to have certain feelings and emotions, and you need a support team. So that's why this class is so viable today, because people need people. So, but today we're going to talk about a few of the ways that I support myself. I'm sorry, I'm good. So, as a caregiver, some of the products I use, they're all doTERRA products, because I am a doTERRian and I 100% believe it. I am a holistic person, and all of the things that I have going on, I'm a chronic pain patient. I actually am now prescription free. I use all doTERRA products to completely support my body. So, and I used to they had me on Lortabs and all the whole 9 yards, because I have spinal stenosis. I've actually had surgery. I have a scar here. These 3 vertebrae are fused. I have fibromyalgia, and I also have RA. My fingers are all jacked up. So I put myself on the back burner for a long time. And doTERRA helped me find a better way to support me when I needed it the most, actually. So that's where some of this comes from. That's where a lot of what I'm going to be talking about comes from. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let go of guilt. That's the very first thing. And the reason why is because sometimes we put more weight and anxiety on us with our own view of our abilities, or sometimes lack of abilities, because we want to do everything right. So we get in our own head and we start having feelings of worthlessness, or we put ourselves to the back burner. We feel guilty if we do something for us, because we feel like that time could have spent doing for the person that we love. First of all, know that you are worthy of care, and you do not need to feel guilty or selfish for that. It took a long time for me to find my self-worth. Please know that you are worthy. You are the world to the person you are giving the care to. So you are worthy. Take care of yourself first. So let's talk about how to get the guilt gone. Peter Bailey said it the best. He said, "It might seem selfish to be a caregiver, taking care of yourself first, but it is like what the flight attendants say. Put your own oxygen mask on first." Then I was able to be a really supportive caregiver. So what did he mean by that? You can't help somebody else to breathe if you're not breathing yourself. So it's actually a loving thing to make sure that you are in working good health, to keep the loved one from worrying about you.
Talking about missing it.
You're trying to do your thing.
I'm trying to get to my study.
And that doesn't.
That
mean
is
you're-
what happens, is that the loved one ends up worrying about you, because they see you not putting yourself first. They see you depleting your energy levels. They see you having the guilt feelings and having the issues that you have as a person, and you keep putting them on the back burner. So then they end up worrying about you. We can't give what we don't have to give. If we are empty, there's no value to our care. So these are a few of the oils that I use to help whenever I'm feeling guilty about something. This is what I use. So bergamot is one of my favorite oils. I use it in so many ways for so many things. I actually applied some before this class. But it actually relieves feelings of despair, self-judgment, and low self-esteem. It also encourages self-acceptance, and it helps us just be a better version of who we are. Citrus Bloom is also a really good one because it actually encourages individuals to really listen to themselves. It helps them to honor the messages that they're receiving from themselves, and it helps with new beginnings. So if you are actually if you're new at caregiving, Citrus Bloom should be in your diffuser every day. You should be applying it to your pulse points, taking 3 deep breaths in. Remember, I'm an aromatherapist, so I really believe in the olfactory nerve and all of the things that go along with inhaling and ingesting the oils through that, because this is the amazing little gland right here. It goes to the seat of the brain, and the brain does amazing things. So it actually the oils help with that. It goes to the limbic system there, and really the emotions that we feel that the oils help support, we can either really just help them be gone, or we can support them to the point where they don't affect us as bad as they did. I know that sounds crazy, but bergamot is just phenomenal at helping you support yourself with getting rid of the guilt feelings. So another way is you can move, stretch, and breathe. You can literally YouTube how to breathe and stretch properly. And there's some really good ones out there for caregivers. It's all free, and it only takes like 5 minutes. But you don't have to go out of your way. You don't have to have a bunch of money poured into a site. None of that. Into a gym or anything like that. You literally 5 minutes a day is all you need. And this is one of the things that I have done in the past. This is actually a breathing technique that I got off of YouTube. I like to draw in through my nose with the count of 8 and out through my mouth with a count of 8. It just like that. And it suggested facing out of a window and just taking these deep breaths, and then to stretch. When you stretch, like when you go up and you go down and you're stretching, those muscles are releasing that tension, and that helps with being able to just reset yourself. Now, one of the things I was recently introduced to was by Hal Elrod. He has a book called Miracle Morning. It has 6 things that successful people do every morning. So those 6 things, if you take 5 minutes and do them, it actually sets your day up for a very successful, stress-free day. And it really does work. I am trying to modify my routine to get it homed in, but I do find that on the days that I do it, that day goes much better than on the days that I don't. So this may be something that would help you in your journey too, but it will give you just a few minutes for yourself to be able to reset. So these are the oils I use: ylang ylang, balance, and past tense. And the reason why I use ylang ylang is because it assists individuals in releasing bottled up emotions, such as anger or sadness, all of those things that come with, you're on an emotional roller coaster. So all of the things that come with caregiving, ylang ylang, not everybody loves the smell of ylang ylang, but it has a plethora of good stuff for us, and it really does support our emotions. Then there's balance. Balance actually teaches perseverance by assisting in staying present with a specific plan or idea until it's actually embodied. What that means is that balance kind of balances you, and it provides you with the inner strength and the fortitude that you need to get the task done. So balance actually teaches us to ground our energy. And because it is made with trees, it has the tree furs in it, and you really become more grounded. So balance is a really good one. I did actually apply balance before I started to teach earlier. Past tense, I used this one too. Past tense can calm severe stress. A lot of people don't realize that, but it will actually soothe trauma and bring balance to the body and the energy system. So you and the person you're giving caregiving to, y'all need past tense. Everybody in the room needs some past tense. Diffuse it, apply it, smell it, get that olfactory nerve going, because past tense is underused and super amazing. Now, this blend also helps in regaining like equilibrium when we're overworked or burnt out, even fatigued. It will help pick you up and get you back into the game. So if you're feeling like, oh my goodness, my day's never going to end, I'm so tired, I'm just overworked, pull out your past tense, do your pulse points, all of your pulse points. I love my chest and the back of my neck to be done. So do your pulse points and breathe it in. 3 deep breaths through your nose, out your mouth. It's wonderful. Now, it is generally used to relieve head tension, but it's great for emotional tension as well. So definitely, past tense is great. Okay, find ways to laugh. Why? Because laughter diminishes tension and awkwardness. So the more you look for the silliness or the glimmer of humor in the moment, the happier you and your loved one is going to be. Because let's face it, this sometimes can be a tough, stressful job. Sometimes tension gets in the air, and laughter cuts that tension and dissolves it away. So if you can look for any humorous thing and start to giggle about it, they will follow suit. And before you know it, laughter has taken over. You don't want to look back and say we never laughed. You want to look back and say, we laughed together a lot. It gives cherished memories, not guilt. So if you're not a trained doctor, do your best and give yourself grace. If you're not a trained nurse, if you haven't been trained in caregiving, give yourself some grace, because and find the humor in those moments, because you've taken on a job that people are trained for. You're taking on something because you love that person, right? Because you're the only one that's willing to step up, right? So give yourself some grace and find ways to laugh, because it also helps us physically. It improves our immune system. It relieves pain. It improves our mood. It's, laughter is the best medicine. That's what they say. Some people say, if I don't laugh, I'm going to cry, right? But if you're laughing, then you're feeling better. If you're crying, then you're feeling worse and you're getting depressed. So I would much rather laugh in a hard situation. So some of the things that I use whenever the situation is hard is, and this is an amazing oil, green mandarin. Oh my goodness, y'all. Green mandarin is wonderful. When you're feeling trapped or burdened, this actually encourages us to experience joy in the journey. So this helps your emotions to find that joy. So if you're one of the people that you're very cynical, or you're very, it's hard for you to laugh, you need some green mandarin in your life, because it's going to help you find the journey of joy. And it's going to help you see the humor in things that maybe you normally wouldn't. Green mandarin is amazing for that. So spikenard. Most people don't know this. This is a fun side fact. When Jesus was getting ready for burial, Mary poured oil over his head. It was spikenard. So why? Because it actually helps with anxiety. It encourages us to surrender or accept life exactly as it is. It teaches us to be grateful for challenges, and as well as our blessings. It helps us to rise to that moment. So if you're feeling like you need some extra, spikenard might be your oil. Cheer. So cheer for when you're feeling helpless or defeated. I know people think, oh, I need some cheer because it needs to cheer me up. But when you're feeling, it's more than that. When you're feeling like at your lowest, when you're feeling like, okay, I don't know what else I can do, grab you some cheer, roll it on your pulse points, 3 deep breaths, in through your nose, out through your mouth. You're going to be shocked how much better you feel and how much easier that task is going to come to you. And you're not going to feel like it's out of your control, or like you can't do that task. It helps support you in that. So now let's talk about sleep. Everybody went, ooh. Because we love staying up on our computers and our tablets and our cell phones with that blue light in our face. We love sipping on our caffeine drinks at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We sometimes cause ourselves to have disruptions in our sleep by how we do things. So here's some tips to help if you're not getting enough sleep, okay? Try to fall asleep and wake up at a consistent time each day. Everybody knows in the Johnson house, 9 o'clock p.m., we're in bed. Don't call me after 9. I'm not answering my phone unless it's an emergency. So if you set a time and you're consistent, okay, this is my bedtime, 30 minutes before you start getting ready for your bed, right? So your brain starts to associate that time with, okay, it's time for me to start making melatonin. And that helps, okay? Reduce daytime naps. If you're sleeping all day, guess what? You're not going to be sleeping at night because your body's already okay with the amount of sleep it's had, right? Avoid intense movies or shows right before bed. So yeah, I probably wouldn't watch that latest movie that's out, that's the action-packed thriller, before bed, because your adrenaline gets going. You might not think it does, but it does. Your body gets into fight or flight mode because you're rooting for that guy to get the other guy, and all of that's happening inside of you. So when you go to lay down to go to sleep, your mind and your body is still stimulated. Your adrenaline is still going. So try not to do that so that you can actually start to relax. I love me a good Epsom salt bath. I will put me some cypress oil because, you know, I'm a chronic pain patient, so my back usually is hurting me. I'll put some cypress and lavender and you know, whatever. Sometimes I have wintergreen in there. Aroma Touch is a go-to. I just put a few drops in my Epsom salt, run that underneath my water, and soak for 15, 20 minutes. Make sure you take a bottle of water, as it is detoxing and it will deplete you. So you need to make sure you're hydrating while you're soaking. Avoid late meals or alcohol because your body and your digestive system is going to keep you up because it's got a job to do. It's got food in the stomach and it wants to get it out. So knowing the health benefits of rest is very important, especially if we're up in the middle of the night. Maybe, you know, maybe the person that we help, they have insomnia or they have issues during the night that we have to go in there and help them with. If that's the case, if that's happening, first of all, put them on this sleep kit. Second of all, you can recover from waking up if you give yourself the right equipment. And that's where that Serenity Sleep Kit comes in. And sometimes we might actually need someone to help us so that we can get some good sleep. You know, if it's extreme cases, we might have to just say, hey, look, I need somebody to take a shift tonight because I need some downtime. I need some sleep. So this is the Serenity. That is my go-to every time. It has a powerful effect on the mind and the heart. It's a unique calming blend. It actually invites the individual to relinquish the feelings of stress, anxiousness, and being overwhelmed. So it's not only helping us sleep, but it's helping us reduce that stress and anxiousness. And it can support those who struggle with an overactive mind or the inability to unwind. So it actually encourages an individual to first reconnect with themselves and then discover the peace that is within us. It actually invites us to acknowledge when we feel out of balance and allow time and space for true renewal. So all this is happening while we're sleeping. So how does the Serenity Sleep Kit work? This is how I use it in my home, and I love it. I cannot be without it. I do have insomnia, and this has almost cured that for real. It has almost, can't use the word cured, but I can say it has supported it to the point that I do not need amitriptyline to go to sleep on anymore at night. I'm totally off all prescription medicines. So what I do, this is my typical routine. I start with 2 Serenity pills. I try for about 30 minutes before bed. Sometimes I forget and I just take them before bed. I take my 2 Serenity pills. When I go back there to take my shower, I have getting my diffuser ready connected to the habit of showering. So if you want to make something a new habit, connect it to an old habit like a shower. So when I go back there and I get my pajamas out of my drawer, I go straight to my diffuser. I pour my water in. I have a bottle sitting right there by it. And then I do my Shinrin Yoku and my Serenity. I put it on 8 hours and I walk away. I go get in my shower, and then I'm doing the rest of the stuff that I'm doing while that is going in my bedroom. Okay. So I have done this up to an hour before, but I'm just trying to get that in my bedroom. So when I go into my bedroom, I'm ingesting and smelling and breathing, and my olfactory is working with the Shinrin Yoku. And here's a side note for that. Dr. Riggs told me personally that he was in a study that was conducted with Shinrin Yoku for reducing blood pressure. And it actually 8 hours at night for 10 days, it significantly reduced blood pressure in people. So if you're dealing with high blood pressure, diffuse some Shinrin Yoku. Now, I didn't have blood pressure problems. And so I asked him, if somebody's not having blood pressure problems, will it lower your blood pressure? And the answer was no. It does not affect those that don't have blood pressure problems. So isn't that a wonderful thing? Oils are amazing. Okay, so this is my routine. Let me just get to it because I'm running out of time. 2 pills before I go to bed. My diffuser's already gone. I have my sleep stick in my pillowcase because after I'm done with everything and I've laid down, and I know I'm not going to get back up, the first thing I do is I swipe the bottom of my feet. Okay, I do the ball of my feet across my toes, because this is your brain activity right here on your feet. Okay, across your toes. And then I flip it over, and your big toe right underneath this nail has a little tiny little gland that reflexologists sit there and they do this, and it makes melatonin in your brain. And the next thing you know, you're waking up and you're like, wow, you put me to sleep. The reflexologist knew that. But if you take your Serenity stick and you just swipe it a little bit, guess what's happening? You're going to start making melatonin to go to sleep with. Before you know it, you're out, you're asleep. Now, let's just say you have to get up in the middle of the night. For me, a lot of times I have insomnia and I wake up at 2 o'clock ready to start my day. I pull my little stick out of my pillowcase and I do my feet, I do my chest. I like to swipe it across my lip too. So I do all my pulse points and my lip right here. So I'm smelling it as I'm going back to sleep. So sometimes the stick will not do what I want it to do. And if it doesn't, I take 1 more Serenity pill at 2 o'clock a.m. Yes, I do. And I go back to sleep. Now, if I have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, which most days I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, but if I have to get up an hour earlier for some reason, guess what? That Serenity pill does not make me drowsy. It doesn't make me groggy. I am fine. I don't even know I took it, other than I got a good night's sleep, because it's all natural. It's using tart cherry and a bunch of other crazy, wonderful, yummy stuff in there to help us go to sleep. So do your research on the sleep kit, buy it, do yourself a favor and use it. This is one of the biggest things that I can tell you has helped me get my restful night. And Blanche, my mother-in-law, I have her on the same thing. Serenity pills, the sleep stick, all of it. So, okay. I know you don't want to hear it. Prioritize nutrition. Nutrition is very, 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 very important for us. Okay. So, and it includes water, not tea, not coffee, but water, real water. So when you're busy taking care of someone else, it's hard to not turn to fast food, because you're running an errand super fast and you didn't have time to make food and you're hungry and you need to take this and do that. And, you just McDonald's and Taco Bell. Mine is a Chick-fil-A thing, stop it. If you go ahead and make you a protein shake, doTERRA protein, doTERRA greens, doTERRA fiber, throw you a banana or some berries or something good up in there, an apple, it's done. That protein will take you so far, and it's delicious. I mean, and make sure that while you're doing all of that, you take your LLV. Lifelong Vitality changed my life. Remember I told you about my RA and my fibromyalgia? I had no idea how much LLV would clean my gut up and help with my pain levels. Lifelong Vitality was life-changing for me. And when I tell you that, I am not exaggerating. I actually, the first year I was on it, I had been on it for about 3 months, and I had not really noticed. I didn't notice that it had changed so many things. I was taking it for granted is what I was doing. My husband and I went on an anniversary trip, and we had a great time. We were gone 10 days, swam with manatees. It was a wonderful trip. But I forgot to take my Lifelong Vitality and my turmeric. When I came home, I was literally dragging my knuckles. I was hurting so bad. Everything was inflamed. My gut hurt. My arthritis was killing me. My hands had started mutating again. I mean, it was just, I was bad. I got right back on my Lifelong Vitality and my turmeric. And guess what? Within a week, everything was gone. Everything was gone. And I have yet since never left my Lifelong Vitality at home when I left home. So that is one of the single most things. If you don't get nothing else out of this class, do yourself a favor. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee on Lifelong Vitality. Order it today. Well, wait till Monday for the BOGO. But anyway, yes, order it. So ask for help. Caregiving takes a village. Trying to do it all alone, it will lead you to burnout really, really fast. So don't be afraid to ask for help. If you have family members and friends, use them. If you don't, there's a lot of resources out there. So Google, some people's insurance offer resources. Do whatever you have to do to get the help. And remember, trained professionals, they are trained for this. You're not going to give them any better care because this is what you think. Oh, I have to do it. I have to be the one. Nobody's going to care for them the way I do it. Guess what? They will. They might not do it your way, but it will get done. And you get to give yourself the grace and the space to refresh and renew. So motivate. That is one of the ones that I chose for this slide because it's a blend of mint and citrus, but it was formulated for those who need encouragement and motivation. So yes, it's going to motivate you to do something, but when you need encouragement, it assists individuals who has stagnated or needs to be fired into action again. So when you're feeling if you really need help, you're feeling helpless. You're feeling like there's nothing else left that you can do, right? You need the help. So you need to ask for it, get motivated to ask for it. It strengthens the individual to face adversities and challenges. This blend is especially helpful whenever you're weary and discouraged, when you've lost the energy to complete an important task. All of that, especially caring for a sick loved one, or even assisting other people that are in need. This blend is pivotal in using it to help you stay motivated. If you're lethargic, if you're discouraged, if it's long-term and it's a long-term care situation, or even another emotionally, physically taxing circumstance, use this oil. Do yourself a favor. It helps you support in rediscovering and maintaining your desire to serve somebody. And that's what you need the most. Is you need that desire to serve, right? When you're a caregiver. So motivate helps you do that. So it actually helps you work through feelings of like gloom and weariness and hopelessness. It doesn't allow you to slip into despondency. That's the best way I can put it. You don't feel like you're in despair. Motivate helps keep you motivated and true. So it puts you into positive action. Also, I put bergamot here. Remember, I told y'all it's the great oil. It helps relieve feelings of despair and self-judgment, because a lot of times whenever we realize that we need help, because sometimes we go into caregiving like, oh yeah, I can do this. I got this. I'm motivated. I can do it. And then we get into it and it becomes really hard. And we're like, I'm not enough. I can't do this. How am I supposed to do this every day? Well, guess what? Bergamot helps you when you're in that despair. This self-judgment and the low self-esteem, it encourages self-acceptance. It encourages you to pull yourself up and say, okay, I can't do it every day, but I can get help. I can get somebody to help me on this day whenever I need to be able to do this. I can get help and be able to do, and then it gives you the acceptance that, you know what, it's going to be okay. They're going to do the job that I need them to do in their way, but in a good way. So the next thing is, don't be afraid to say no. That sometimes comes very, very hard for people who tend to be caregivers. We are yes people, meaning that we say yes to something before we even count the cost or for, what it entails. We don't even think about what it entails. Oh yeah, I'll help you, girl. I got you, girl. Yes, I'll do that. We're yes people. So we end up doing for others even before ourselves. We have too much going on to squeeze self-care into the day. Please pick the time of day and make yourself a priority. doTERRA has helped me on my journey with this. It took me 50 years to get to this point. Don't let it take you 50 years. Make yourself a priority. Put on your oxygen mask. You can't help them breathe if you're not breathing. So here's a few things that I use for this. Tea tree, abode, and
Hey
blue.
there, is anybody else frozen or is it just me?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes,
I
I can hear you.
I could hear you now. Yep,
Okay. Was I frozen for a minute?
for a second. But
Okay.
you say put on your oxygen mask.
Yes. Okay. So you can't help someone else if you're not breathing. You can't help them breathe. So put on your oxygen mask. Tea tree, abode, and blue tansy. Those are the ones that help me the most with this. So tea tree is also known as Melaleuca. It actually clears our negative energetic baggage, and it specifically releases codependent and parasitic relationships. I know you know what that is. Everybody has one. So it actually helps you break free from that. Abode, actually, it actually is a cleaning. We use it for a disinfectant in doTERRA. Well, guess what? It calls individuals into a self-examination and energetic accountability. What that means is that it's really good at cutting through distraction and distortion. It helps us see where we have engaged in a relationship that is sucking our energy, or we have become codependent behaviors, or actually we've succumbed to lower energetic vibrations is what happens. So that's where abode comes in. It helps purify and clean us up. It helps us get rid of the desire to be codependent for someone. Blue tansy. Blue tansy supports those who resist taking action to change or transform to their circumstances. So sometimes we get in a rut, and that rut is really hard to get out of. And guess what blue tansy does? It helps a person who has become stagnant in their progression to break free from that. It supports you, and it gives you what you need to transform and change the circumstances you're in. And then this is my last slide for y'all. This is my personal pain pill. I use this recipe to help support my physical body when I'm hurting. And I also love Deep Blue rub. I would bathe in it. I love the stick, and I will take copaiba, spread the copaiba on the area that hurts, and then rub it with the stick. And it does amazing things. I also like birch. Birch is one of those. Birch or wintergreen, cypress. Those are oils I layer on first and then use my stick. And it will help you. Try it. If you have muscle pains and aches, back pains and aches, try layering a few oils and then use your stick, and you will see how fast the relief comes. But my pain pills is what really does help me get through a day. I take these probably on a really bad day when my stenosis is really bad, like if I've had to tug and pull and it's hurting, I'll take 2. And I'll take them every 4 to 6 hours as I need to. But on regular days, I usually just one does it. I can take one whenever I start feeling the pain, and I usually don't have to take another one. And if I do, like at night, then I will take it before I take, or sometimes I have taken it with my Serenity so that I can sleep good. I'm not in pain. But 3 or 4 drops each: frankincense, marjoram, lemongrass, copaiba. Those are the main constituents. You've got to have that in there. Bergamot is absolutely optional, but my friend Felicia, she's been my longtime friend. She told me about that's what she does. I tried it and wow, just wow. Yes, y'all, do it. So, and that's the end. Do I have any questions?
Let's give her a round of applause, and let me open it up to share screen and then go through. I see. Okay, gallery is here. Thank you so much. Everybody's clapping their hands. I hope you can see their reactions button on their picture. Thank you so much for sharing, making those beautiful slides. Okay, questions, comments, or thoughts? Anybody? Dee, you want to go first?
Susan had her hand up.
Did I have my
Okay.
hand up? No, I appreciate everything because I've been pretty much a caregiver for years too. So I really do appreciate this information. And one of my sisters has spinal stenosis, so I'm going to make her up a master blend of that and gift that to her, that recipe.
Aroma touch therapy helps also.
Mary, can you
Oh.
hear her?
If you haven't ever done aroma touch and she has spinal stenosis,
Yes.
buy the kit, get the free course that comes with it, do the aroma touch course on spinal stenosis. It helps so much.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. I can't do it to myself, but I put all this stuff in a roller bottle, and I use the stick from Oil Tools and roll it up and down my spine. It helps so much. And then I have my husband apply me some deep blue.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, one other person. Anybody want to share? Go ahead, Shay.
I would just say that that was totally awesome, Sherry. I really appreciated all the information. And when my husband got sick last year, the first part of the year, I felt like a caregiver. I did have to take care of him for months, and it was very, very, very challenging. But just understanding, you know, the oils that we have at our disposal, the different ways that we can help them as well as help ourselves is just amazing. So thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Awesome.
Thank you all for coming. I really do appreciate all the support.
Yeah, we certainly felt your passion and we learned something new. And so I want to thank you, thank you, thank you for showing up and teaching this class for us, honey. All right, so that's our time for today. We will be back next week, Friday, talking about how to use doTERRA oils in some other way, shape, or form. I forget exactly what the topic is, but watch my Instagram page on Dream, Manifest, Grow. Lots of us here are on social media. I also post the invitation on Beth's Facebook page, Oil Maintenance, as well as Return to Wellness. So we shall stay connected in that way. And then the last announcement I want to throw out there is the BOGOs coming next week from Monday through Friday. If you haven't seen a post about those yet, please go ahead and check that out because we have lots of good stuff coming up our way. So if you want a copy of this class, then check out my YouTube channel, Mapuana Mergel. I will be posting this as soon as it's uploaded on Zoom. Okay, so did I miss any announcements, Beth or Joan? Is there anything else that you guys want to add? Okay, Sherry, go ahead.
Next week is Menopause Brain. I will be on that class. I need that.
You're good. Thank you. See? Yeah. Menopause brain. Okay. Hold on. I am putting in my Instagram into chat. Dream_manifest_grow. And you could follow me and get the recording to this class as well as my YouTube channel for all of our other classes. Okay. So thanks a lot for joining, everybody. We shall see you next week. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.